So hello friends, this is the last part of this chapter. The ninth part one is interdependence of the light and dark reaction. It is very important point one. We'll see the interdependence of the light and dark reaction. It is grana and it is the stroma. In grana the light reaction takes place and in stroma the dark reaction takes place. Here the two processes, the first one is photolysis and photophosphorylation. The light and water enters in a grana and the two process occurs, and by these two process the oxygen is evolved and the ATP and NADPH is transferred to the in dark reaction in a Calvin cycle. Then Calvin cycle takes carbon dioxide from the atmosphere and further it forms glucose and then it ADP and inorganic phosphate and NADP further transfers to the grana. Here we'll see first point is light reaction is responsible for the generation of ATP and NADPH2 here, and the ATP and NADPH2 means the assimilatory power is used in the dark reaction. Here the ATP and NADPH is used in the dark reaction by the process Calvin cycle for the reduction of CO2 into glucose, for the reduction of CO2 into here glucose. And then during dark reaction the ADP, inorganic phosphate and NADP which are required for synthesis of ATP and NADPH2 regenerated, means here regeneration of these molecules takes place, and thus two reactions, that is light reaction and dark reactions, are depend upon each other. Let's see the picture diagram, very important one. Let's move toward next. And the last point is one important for all theory exams. Here the external factors and the internal factors. Let's see first external factors. The external factors are light, temperature, carbon dioxide and water, and the last one is oxygen. These are the external factors, and in this we'll see the external factors are light, temperature. First one is light, temperature, carbon dioxide, water and oxygen. In light, the light provides energy for photosynthesis. Plant obtain light energy from the natural source, that is sunlight. The 3 points occurs in light, that is depends, that is light quality, light intensity and duration of light. First one is light quality. The photosynthesis in grain plants successfully takes place in visible part of the spectrum of the light. The rate of photosynthesis is maximum in red, average in blue and minimum in green light. Okay. The light intensity. Generally, the rate of photosynthesis is greater in intense light than in diffused light. The two examples, that is sciophytes and heliophytes. In sciophytes, these are the certain plants require less intense light for optimum photosynthesis and grow in shady places. These are called sciophytes, and the heliophytes are, on the other hand, the plants which grow in sunny places requires more intense light for the optimum photosynthesis. They are called as heliophytes. And the next one is the duration of light. First, even a brief flash of light is enough for photosynthesis to occur. However, the rate of photosynthesis is greater in intermittent light than in continuous light. It is because in continuous light the assimilatory power accumulates and is not consumed in the dark reaction at the same rate at which it is produced in the light reaction. In the light reaction, the assimilatory power is stored, then it is not consumed in the dark reaction when continuous light is provided to the plant. Then temperature. Here, the different plants have different requirement of temperature for the photosynthesis. Under favorable conditions of the light and carbon dioxide, photosynthesis increases with rise in temperature till it becomes maximum 25 to 30 degrees Celsius. In the optimum temperature is the optimum temperature for the photosynthesis. The examples are here. In Opuntia, it takes place even at 55 degrees Celsius. These are acceptance. In lichens, minus 20 degrees Celsius is the minimum temperature, and in coniferous, minus 35 degrees Celsius is the minimum temperature. The C4 plants have higher optimum temperature than C3 plants. Third one is carbon dioxide. Generally, 0.03% means 330 ppm CO2 is present in the atmosphere. An increase in CO2 concentration up to about 0.9% increases the rate of photosynthesis. But very high concentratic may prove toxic and harmful, hence the rate of photosynthesis will decrease. And fourth one is water. Water is a raw material and as an essential factor for photosynthesis. Usually, the water rarely acts as a limiting factor for photosynthesis, but the rate of photosynthesis may go down. If the plants are inadequately supplied of water due to dehydration of protoplasm affects the activity of coenzymes that catalyze photosynthesis. The last is stomata. Stomata is key budget of water, hence complete the closure of stomata stops the process of photosynthesis. This is one important. Stomata is a key budget of water. The last one is oxygen. Increase in oxygen concentration causes greatest inhibition of photosynthesis when CO2 level are low and light levels are saturating. The second one is the inhibition can be relieved by high CO2 concentration. C3 plants are more sensitive than C4 plants because photorespiration occurs. To the next one, that is there are internal factors. In internal factors, internal factors are the first one is chlorophyll content, second one is accumulation of the byproducts, third one is protoplasmic factors, and the fourth one is leaf anatomy, and fifth is age of the leaf and the hormones which affects the photosynthesis, the rate of photosynthesis. Let's see. First one is chlorophyll. In chlorophyll, we'll see the chlorophyll is essential for the photosynthesis. It does not occur in etiolated plants. Chlorophyll doesn't occur in etiolated plants. And the chlorophyll is must for capture of light energy. See, the next one is accumulation of end product of photosynthesis. The accumulation of the sugar in the photosynthesizing cells retards the rate of photosynthesis. The quick translocation of the sugar or end product photosynthesis will have the favorable effect on the rate of photosynthesis. Third one is protoplasmic factors. The proper hydration of the protoplasm is essential for the photosynthesis. And however, isolated chloroplasts are also capable of carrying on photosynthesis under suitable conditions. The suitable conditions are necessary for the isolated chloroplast for carrying photosynthesis. The fourth one is leaf anatomy. Here, as leaf area increases, the number of stomata on the lower surface of the leaf increases, and this will permit high diffusion of carbon dioxide gas, which is an important limiting factor on the rate of photosynthesis. Both the area leaf area and the angles at which leaf intercept the photons control the rate of photosynthesis. The complex plant photosynthesis system means C3, C4 and CAM type is directly depends on ecology as the anatomy of leaves. The larger the leaf size, higher is the rate of photosynthesis. Here see, the larger is the leaf size has a broader surface area with more chloroplast, absorbs more light from the sun and more number of stomata present on the lower surface of the leaves, which plays a crucial role in gases exchange during the process of photosynthesis. The fifth is leaf age. The age of leaf effect on photosynthesis was therefore due to greater decline of carbon fixation capacity. The leaf age was characterized on the basis of leaf chlorophyll, nitrogen content and construction and maintenance cost of the plant. The last one is hormones. The role of hormones which affects the photosynthesis. Hormones have a significant impact on the regulation of photosynthetic processes in plants under both optimal stress conditions. Hormones strongly impact photosynthesis both indirectly and directly. Phytohormones play a major role in photoprotection of the photosynthetic apparatus under stress conditions. The photohormones are the plays a central role in the regulation of the photosynthesis. We'll see the phytohormones are the auxins, cytokinins and gibberellins. The mostly gibberellins, gibberellic acids or the gibberellins are the group of a plant growth hormones generally involved in the induction of the photosynthesis. So we can complete one chapter photosynthesis of botany, which is very major but important one, and the weightage is 50%, 15% in the syllabus. The lectures are according to the syllabus, the lectures are 7, 8, 9 botany, and thank you friends.